The voice of sharing. Durian ASEAN.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia. Hello, welcome to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
So, Aline, do you prefer to move around by car or trains around the city?
For me, it's car. The train system in Kuala Lumpur is still not well covered. Sometimes I need to go from point A to point B as soon as possible.
Well, you have a point, but I hate the traffic jam. Not really a car person, to be honest. I guess I'm also very adventurous, so I prefer to take a public transportation and walk around and explore the city.
You're right. The city is really complex and beautiful. I mean, there's so many things to look around. But oftentimes we are trapped in our own car cocoon, like myself. And also, I agree with you that cars are really an expensive liability.
On ASEAN Daily, we'll bring you daily updates and commentaries on issues and events that are impacting this region. I'm your host, Grace Cho.
And this is Arlene Tan. Today, on Friday, 19 February 2016, we will bring you the latest politics and current affairs news from Southeast Asia.
Our top story today is about Malaysia. Malaysia has signed an MOU with Bangladeshi to bring in 1.5 million Bangladeshi migrant workers to Malaysia, so possibly to fulfill the 3D jobs here. 3D, dirty, dangerous, and demanding.
After all the negative responses from Malaysia, the government still decided to proceed with a deal. Malaysia's Human Resources Minister Richard Rayot Jaim and Bangladesh Expatriate Welfare and Overseas Employment Minister Nurul Islam BSc signed the MOU on Wednesday in Dhaka.
Malaysia is Bangladesh's biggest human resource export, and that goes around 600,000 Bangladeshis are currently working in Malaysia.
That's true. But the process wasn't as smooth in the past. Malaysia stopped hiring Bangladeshi workers in 2009 amid allegations of mismanagement. They only continue in 2013 under the G2G or government-to-government system, but only in plantation sector.
Then why signing the latest MOU?
Well, the thing is, the latest MOU paves way for a new system, styled as G2G+, plus meaning that privately run manpower recruiting agencies will be part of the system. It also expanded to areas such as services, construction, farming, plantation, and manufacturing sectors.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina extended thanks to Malaysian government for legalizing Bangladesh nationals working in that country. He also said that the new agreement would open a new door for cooperation.
But not every Malaysian is happy about it. Sabah Rural Development Minister Radin Malik said that the state of Sabah would not comply with the federal government decision and would not process any applications from Bangladeshi workers.
He also said something really profound, in fact. I don't think Malaysians would not want to work in 3D industries. They're just not being paid well. Even Sabah's Minister Radin noted that the issue of workers from Bangladesh has gone viral even in social media. He articulated it perfectly that our youth are willing to accept any work as long as they are paid properly.
Listen, that paid properly. We need better minimum wage. Anyway, the next news spoke just about it.
So on a larger scale, the ASEAN job market is turning increasingly tough. And that's according to a survey which shows that Malaysians suffering most as labor markets tighten across the region.
According to FT Confidential Research, a unit of the Financial Times, there's a rise in unemployment in the Asian region this year after significant job losses in 2015.
So Malaysia is the most pessimistic about job security among ASEAN workers at 6%, and this is followed by Thai workers at 4%.
I wonder why so.
Well, I guess people are finding it hard or very hard to land a new job.
If I've not forgotten that 2015 survey in Job Street indicated more than half of Southeast Asians felt so. The survey was conducted in Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Thailand and Vietnam.
Actually, there also have been layoffs across the economy. If you talk about CIMB, Malaysia's second largest bank, cut 4,000 jobs last year, and several other banks also downsized as loan growth widened. And Malaysian Airlines fired about 6,000 employees last year, as they cut costs after years of struggling to make profits.
And Malaysia's oil and gas industry is also facing huge retrenchment. For example, Petronas, the national oil company, has made drastic spending cuts on contractors to cope with the cheap oil. And Royal Dutch Shell will cut 1,300 jobs of its workforce in Malaysia.
So it is definitely a bleak year for Malaysia and Southeast Asia.
Definitely. Let's go to the next news. From Southeast Asia, we go all the way to Sunnylands.
Sure. So do you know that Obama unveiled a new U.S. government initiative called U.S. ASEAN Connect?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they were there only busy discussing about the South China Sea dispute and the TPP.
Well, apparently not really. The Sunnylands Summit was really important to the U.S. Obama has been looking for ways to better engage with the Asia sub-region for region-wide economic cooperation because the ASEAN economies are so diverse.
Yeah, that's true. The U.S. ASEAN Connect was discussed among leaders at the economic session during the first of the 2 days Sunnylands Summit. But what exactly is the U.S. ASEAN Connect?
Well, it aims to utilize a network of 3 hubs across the Southeast Asia, Singapore, Jakarta, and Bangkok, to better coordinate U.S. economic engagement in the region and also connect entrepreneurs, investors, and businesses as well.
Looking at it, the U.S. ASEAN Connect has 4 organizing pillars. From what I see, the first 2 is Business Connect, which supports increased commercial engagement in the specific sectors such as infrastructure and information and communication technology. The second is Energy Connect, to assist in the development of power sectors in ASEAN built around sustainable, efficient and innovative technologies.
Also, Innovation Connect, which supports Southeast Asia's emerging entrepreneurial ecosystem. And finally, Policy Connect, which focuses on supporting ASEAN countries in creating a policy environment conducive greater trade and investment, innovation and sustainable growth, including through this capacity building and technical support.
But this is not a new idea though. In fact, the US was mulling the development of an infrastructure facilities to serve as a one-stop shop for various US actors to better coordinate and market their activities to Asian nations and also to rival other regional players like China and Japan.
So this will definitely help U.S. to create a better network in this region, putting its weight against China and ASEAN. Talking about rebalancing act, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Let's move on to the next news. We go to Myanmar for some updates.
So Aung San Suu Kyi met the Myanmar military commander-in-chief for the 3rd time, following the landslide victory by her National League of Democracy or NLD party in the general elections last November.
3rd time. That means the 2 previous time they met on December 2nd and January the 25th to discuss a peaceful transfer of power to the NLD from the ruling Union Solidarity and Development Party.
So they were there to discuss the rule of law and then approaches to lasting peace in Myanmar, which continues to be plagued by wars between the disarmed ethnic groups and the military government.
Aung San Suu Kyi also discussed with Senior General Min Aung Hlaing for more than an hour. There's a lot of things to talk about, but most of the conversation were off limits to the public. And the meeting came after a local media report last week that Min Aung Hlaing has secured his position as the military commander for another 5-year term.
Exactly. I mean, we talked about this a few days ago already. And Aung San Suu Kyi, who has pledged to end the fighting between the government army and also various autonomy-seeking armed ethnic groups, they need a cooperation of a country's military, which controls the quarter of the seats in the parliament and appointments to 3 key ministries.
The good news is the lower house of the parliament has unanimously approved the motion on Wednesday to end fighting between the government army and armed ethnic group, especially in the Paolaung Autonomous Region and surrounding areas near the town of Kyome in northern Myanmar's restive Shan State.
Well, the incoming NLD-led government is urged to hold a peace conference that includes all armed ethnic groups and also said it was the responsibility of the nationwide ceasefire agreement, or we call it NCA, monitoring the group to end these hostilities and also bring about peace.
On the other hand, the Restoration Council of Shan State Army South, or short for RCSS SSA-S, which signed the NCA between the government and 8 of the country's armed ethnic groups last October, has been engaged in a new round of hostilities against the Paolaung Ta'ang National Liberation Army since February the 7th.
So this peace accord signed with the Myanmar's military-backed USDP was boycotted by 7 of 15 ethnic groups that have battled the Myanmar central government for decades. So among them is the Shan State Army North rebel group.
Hopefully, the new government of Myanmar can reboot the peace talks with the rebel group successfully. Perhaps Myanmar can learn a thing or two from the Indonesia's experience post-Suharto regime, where it took them years to end the civil war between ethnic groups.
That's all from our ASEAN Daily today. Thank you for tuning in to Durian ASEAN with Grace Cho
and Arlene Tan. For more updates on Southeast Asia, please go to our website at durianasean.com. If you're on the go, you can always download our TuneIn app on your mobile.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channels at Durian ASEAN and Durian ASEAN TV. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram. We always welcome feedbacks from our listeners.
Stay tuned with Durian ASEAN by next week Monday, same time at 12 to 1 p.m. on GMT Plus 8. Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
You're now listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.